Hello and welcome back to the reading of the Holy Bible. Today we are doing chapter 17, 18, 19, as well as 20. But first, let's open up to that so we can actually read. I'm actually pretty sure we're getting close to being done Leviticus. Not next week, but the week after we should, because there's 27 chapters in Leviticus, so we might even have one extra. I'll explain when we get to that. Anyways, chapter 17. Laws for the slaying of animals. And the Lord said to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron and his sons, and to all the children of Israel, saying to them, This is the word which the Lord hath commanded, saying, Any man whosoever of the house of Israel, if he kill an ox or a sheep or a goat in the camp, or without the camp, and offer it not at the door of the tabernacle, an oblation to the Lord, shall be guilty of blood. As if he had shed blood, so shall he perish from the midst of his people. Chapter 17, verse 3. If you kill, an example, in order to sacrifice, the law of God forbids sacrifices to be offered in any other place but at the tabernacle or temple of the Lord, to signify that no sacrifice would be acceptable to God out of his true temple, the one holy Catholic Apostolic Church. Therefore, the children of Israel shall bring to the priest their victims which they kill in the field, that they may be sanctified to the Lord, before the door of the tabernacle of the testimony, and they may sacrifice them for peace offerings to the Lord. And the priest shall pour the blood upon the altar of the Lord at the door of the tabernacle of the testimony, and shall burn the fat for a sweet odor to the Lord. Sacrifices to devils forbidden. And they shall no more sacrifice their victims to devils, with whom they have committed fornication. It shall be an ordinance forever to them and to their posterity. And thou shalt say to them, The man of the house of Israel, and of the strangers who sojourn among you, that offereth a holocaust or a victim, and bringeth it not to the door of the tabernacle of the testimony, that may be offered to the Lord, shall perish from among his people, eating of blood forbidden. If any man whosoever of the house of Israel, and of the strangers that sojourn among them, eat blood, I will set my face against his soul, and will cut him off from among his people. Verse 10, eat blood. To eat blood was forbidden in the law. The reason was that God reserved it to himself to be offered in sacrifices on the altar. For blood was a symbol of life, of which God was the sole master, and it was a figure of the blood of Christ. This prohibition also gave men a horror of shedding blood. Genesis chapter 9, verse 4 through 6. Because the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you, that you may make atonement with it upon the altar for your souls, and the blood may be for an expiation of the soul. Therefore I have said to the children of Israel, No soul of you, nor of the strangers that sojourn among you, shall eat blood. Any man whosoever of the children of Israel, and of the strangers that sojourn among you, if by hunting or fowling he take a wild beast or a bird which is lawful to eat, let him pour out its blood, and cover it with earth, for the life of all flesh is in the blood. Therefore I said to the children of Israel, You shall not eat the blood of any flesh at all. Because the life of the flesh is in the blood, and whosoever eateth it shall be cut off. The soul that eateth that which died of itself, or has been caught by a beast, whether he be one of your own country or a stranger, shall wash his clothes and himself with water, and shall be defiled until the evening, and in this manner he shall be made clean. But if he do not wash his clothes and his body, he shall bear his iniquity. Excuse me. Imitation of Gentiles forbidden. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and thou shalt say to them, I am the Lord your God. You shall not do according to the custom of the land of Egypt, in which you dwell, neither shall you act according to the manner of the country of Canaan, into which I will bring you, nor shall you walk in their ordinances. You shall do my judgments, and shall observe my precepts, and shall walk in them. I am the Lord your God. Keep my laws and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am the Lord. Prohibited marriages. No man shall approach to her that is near of any kin to him, to uncover her nakedness. I am the Lord. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father, or the nakedness of thy mother. She is thy mother. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's wife, for it is the nakedness of thy father. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy sister, by father or by mother, whether born at home or abroad. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy son's daughter, or thy daughter's daughter, because it is thy own nakedness. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's wife, of thy father's wife's daughter, whom she bore to thy father, and who is thy sister. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's sister, because she is the flesh of thy father. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister, because she is thy mother's flesh. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's brother, neither shalt thou approach to his wife who is joined to thee by affinity. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy daughter-in-law, because she is thy son's wife, neither shalt thou discover her shame. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy brother's wife, because it is the nakedness of thy brother. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy wife and her daughter. Thou shalt not take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to discover her shame, because they are her flesh, and such copulation is incest. Copulation is incest. Thou shalt not take thy wife's sister for a harlot to rival her, neither shalt thou discover her nakedness, which while she is yet living. Unlawful lust. Thou shalt not approach to a woman having her flowers, neither shalt thou uncover her nakedness. Thou shalt not lie with thy neighbor's wife, nor be defiled with mingling of seed. Thou shalt not give any of thy seed to be consecrated to the idol Moloch, nor defile the name of thy God. I am the Lord. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind, because it is an abomination. Thou shalt not copulate with any beast, neither shalt thou be defiled with it. A woman shall not lie down to a beast, nor copulate with it, because it is a heinous crime. In the Hebrew, confusion is used instead of heinous crime. Defile not yourselves with any of these things, with which all the nations have been defiled, which I will cast out before you, and with which the land is defiled, the abominations of which I will visit, that may vomit out its inhabitants. Keep ye my ordinances and judgments, and do not any of these abominations, neither any of your own nation, nor any stranger that sojourneth among you. For all of these, detestable things the inhabitants of the land have done that were before you, and have defiled it. Beware then, lest in like manner it vomit you also out, if you do like things as it vomited out the nation that was before you. Punishment for unlawful lust. Every soul that shall commit any of these abominations shall perish from the midst of his people. Keep my commandments, do not the things which they have done, that have been before you, and be not defiled therein. I am the Lord your God. Chapter 19, Holiness Required. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to all the congregation of the children of Israel, and thou shalt say to them, Be ye holy, because I am the Lord your God, because I, the Lord your God, am holy. Fear of parents and observance of Sabbaths. Let everyone fear his father and his mother. Keep my Sabbaths. I am the Lord your God. Idols forbidden. Turn ye not to idols, nor make to yourselves molten gods. I am the Lord your God. Peace offerings. If ye offer and sacrifice a peace offering to the Lord, that he may be favorable, you shall eat it on the same day it was offered, and the next day, and whatsoever shall be left until the third day, and you shall burn with fire. If after 2 days any man eat thereof, he shall be profane and guilty of impiety, and shall bear his iniquity, because he hath defiled the holy thing of the Lord, and that soul shall perish from among his people. Helping the poor. When thou reapest the corn of thy land, thou shalt not cut down all that is on the face of the earth to the very ground, nor shalt thou cover the ears that remain. Neither shalt thou gather the bunches and grapes that fall down in thy vineyard, but shalt leave them to the poor and the strangers to take. I am the Lord your God. Stealing, lying, and deceit. You shall not steal, you shall not lie, neither shall any man deceive his neighbor, swearing falsely in profanity. Thou shalt not swear falsely by my name, nor profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord. Oppression and payment of wages. Thou shalt not calumniate thy neighbor. Calumniate thy neighbor, nor oppress them by violence. The wages of him that hath been hired by thee shall not abide with thee until the morning. Treatment of deaf and blind. Thou shalt not speak evil of the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but thou shalt fear the Lord thy God, because I am the Lord. Judging. Thou shalt not do that which is unjust, nor judge unjustly. Respect not the person of the poor, nor honor the countenance of the mighty, but judge thy neighbor according to justice. Talebearing. Thou shalt not be a detractor, nor a whisperer among the people. Thou shalt not stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am the Lord. Hatred and criticism. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart, but reprove him openly, lest thou incur sin through him. Love of neighbors. Seek not revenge, nor be mindful of the injury of thy citizens. Thou shalt love thy friend as thyself. I am the Lord. Mingling. Keep ye my laws. Thou shalt not make thy cattle to gender with beasts of any other kind. Thou shalt not sow thy field with different seeds. Thou shalt not wear a garment that is woven of two shirts. Different seeds. These prescriptions of the law tend to recommend simplicity and plain dealing in all things, and to teach the people not to join any false worship or heresy with the worship of the true God. Immorality with servants. If a man carnally lie with a woman that is a bondservant and marriageable, and yet not redeemed with a price, nor made free, they shall both be scourged, and they shall not be put to death, because she was not a free woman. And for his trespass he shall offer a ram to the Lord at the door of the tabernacle of the testimony. And the priest shall pray for him and for his sin before the Lord, and he shall have mercy on him, and the sin shall be forgiven. Eating of fruit. When you shall be come into the land, and shall have planted in it fruit trees, you shall take away the first fruits of them. The fruit that comes forth shall be unclean to you. Neither shall you eat of them, but in the 4th year all their fruit shall be sanctified, to the praise of the Lord. And in the 5th year you shall eat the fruits thereof, gathering the increase thereof. I am the Lord your God. Eating blood and interpreting dreams. You shall not eat with blood. You shall not divine nor observe dreams. Nope. Going back to verse 23 for a second, the first fruits. Literally, they're foreskins. This alludes to circumcision and signifies that for the first 3 years, the trees were to be as uncircumcised and their fruit unclean. In the 4th year, their increase was sanctified and given to the Lord, that is, to the priest. Shaving and hair cutting. Nor shall you cut your hair roundwise, nor shave your beard. Disfiguring the body. You shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, neither shall you make in yourselves any figures or marks. I am the Lord. Morality of daughters. Make not thy daughter a common strumpet, lest the land be defiled and filled with wickedness. Sabbaths in the sanctuary. Keep ye my Sabbath, and reverence my sanctuary. I am the Lord. Wizards and soothsayers. Go not aside after wizards, neither ask anything of soothsayers to be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God. Honoring old age. Rise up before the hoary head, and honor the person of the aged man, and fear the Lord thy God. I am the Lord. Excuse me. Treatment of strangers. If a stranger dwell in your land and abide among you, do not upbraid him, but let him be among you as one of the same country, and you shall love him as yourselves. For you were strangers in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. Weights and measures. Do not any unjust thing in judgment, in rule, in weight, or in measure. Let the balance be just, and the weights equal, and bushel just, and the sextary equal. I am the Lord your God, that brought you out of the land of Egypt. Keep all my precepts and all my judgments, and do them. I am the Lord. Chapter 20. Punishment for offering children to Moloch. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the children of Israel, if any man of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that dwell in Israel, give of his seed to the idol Moloch, die and let him die. The people of the land shall stone him, and I will set my face against him, and I will cut him off from the midst of his people, because he hath given of his seed to Moloch, and hath defiled my sanctuary, and profaned my holy name. And if the people of the land neglecting, and as it were, little regarding my commandment, let alone the man that hath given of his seed to Moloch, and will not kill him, I will set my face against that man and his kindred, and will cut off both him and all that consented with him to commit fornication with Moloch out of the midst of their people. Punishment for consulting magicians. The soul that shall go aside after magicians and soothsayers, and shall commit fornication with them, I will set my face against that soul, and destroy it out of the midst of its people. Sanctify yourselves, and be ye holy, because I am the Lord your God. Keep my precepts and do them. I am the Lord that sanctify you. Punishment for cursing parents. He that curseth his father or mother, dying, let him die. He hath cursed his father and mother, let his blood be upon him. Punishments for unlawful lust. If any man commit adultery with the wife of another, and defile his neighbor's wife, let them be put to death, both the adulterer and the adulteress. If a man lie with his stepmother, and discover the nakedness of his father, let them both be put to death, their blood be upon them. If any man lie with his daughter-in-law, let both die, because they have done a heinous crime, their blood be upon them. If anyone lie with a man as with a woman, both have committed an abomination, let them be put to death, their blood be upon them. If any man, after marrying the daughter, marry her mother, he hath done a heinous crime, he shall be burnt alive with them. Neither shall so great an abomination remain in the midst of you. He that shall copulate with any beast or cattle, die and let him die. The beast also ye shall kill. The woman that shall lie under any beast shall be killed together with the same. Their blood be upon them. If any man take his sister, the daughter, or his father, or the daughter of his mother, and see her nakedness, and she behold her brother's shame, they have committed a crime that they shall be they have committed a crime. They shall be slain in the sight of their people, because they have discovered one another's nakedness, and they shall bear their iniquity. If any man lie with a woman in her flowers, and uncover her nakedness, and she open the fountain of her blood, both shall be destroyed out of the midst of their people. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy aunt by thy mother, and of thy aunt by thy father. He that doth this hath uncovered the shame of his own flesh. Both shall bear their iniquity. If any man lie with the wife of his uncle by the father, or of his uncle by the mother, and uncover the shame of his near kin, both shall bear their sin. They shall die without children. He that marrieth his brother's wife doth an unlawful thing. He hath uncovered his brother's nakedness. They shall be without children. Laws to be obeyed. Keep my laws and my judgments, and do them, lest the land into which you are to enter to dwell therein vomit you also out. Walk not after the laws of the nations, which I will cast out before you, for they have done all these things, and therefore I abhorred them. But to you I say, possess their land, which I will give you for an inheritance, a land flowing with milk and honey. I am the Lord your God, who have separated you from other people. Therefore do you also separate the clean beast from the unclean, and the clean fowl from the unclean. Defile not your souls with beasts or birds, or any things that move on the earth, in which I have shown you to be unclean. You shall be holy unto me, because I, the Lord, am holy, and I have separated you from other people, that you should be mine. Death for diviners, a man or woman in whom there is a pathonical or divining spirit, dying, let them die. They shall stone them, their blood be upon them. Going back to verse 15, the beast also you shall kill. The killing of the beast was for the greater horror of the crime, to prevent the remembrances of such abominations. And that was chapters 17, 18, 19, and 20. Next Sunday, hopefully, as you can tell, I've been a little bit off on my days. We will be doing 21, 22, 23, and 24. Unfortunately, I've just been a little bit busy with John, so I actually do need to get around to recording gameplay footage again, because I'm almost completely out, and I plan to do that tonight. So hopefully I actually get the chance to do that. It just, having a son makes you busy and whatnot. So, but that will do it for this week. We'll be back next week, and then I'll explain next week. So I'll keep that as a surprise for now. But thank you very much for watching. You all have a wonderful day, and God bless. Thank you very much.